Here we want you to recall that inside of a normal curve can be one of several things. It can be a probability, it can be a percent, and here we see that we're also able to find the area. So this problem says find the indicated z-score, but the graph depicts the standard normal distribution with mean 0 and standard deviation 1 and a shaded area of 0.0125. So we see that mu is 0, sigma is 1, we're finding a z-score, but if you look at the graph, they've got 0 labeled in the center for the mu, and the shaded area is off to the left and going to the left tail, and it's labeled inside with 0.0125. Sometimes when you see these in your homework, the label is up above it, but it's still representing the inside. And so if we have inside data, then we're going to use inverse norm. Yes, that's how you can remember it, inside, inverse. And remember, we want what's to the left of the z-score that we're looking for, and so they've already given it to us. It's 0.125. It's not a percent, but it represents an area. And then mu would be 0, sigma would be 1. We find our calculator the same way we've been doing it, second vars, number 3, 0.0125. Mu is back to 0 and sigma is back to 1. Paste, enter, and we get negative 2.24. Remember, z-scores are almost always 2 decimal places. And again, double check that it fits with the picture that you have. 0 is in the center. We were looking at a z-score on the left-hand side, so it had to be a negative number. That makes sense. However, let's look at another picture. This also says find the indicated z-score. The graph depicts the standard normal distribution with mean 0, standard deviation 1, and it's still a shaded area of 0.0125. However, this time on the picture, you can see that the z-score is off to the far right, and the shaded area is in the right tail. So for those of you that have the new calculator, this is one of those situations where you could click on right and type in 0.0125. But the rest of us need to find out what is to the left. And so recall, what is the total area of a normal curve? One whole. So if we know the right-hand side, then the left-hand side is just going to be 1 minus 0.0125, otherwise known as 0.9875. So since we have data on the inside, we're going to use inverse norm, and we can put 0.9875, 0, and 1 for mu and sigma. And actually, if you're feeling a little extra lazy, instead of typing in 0.9875, you can actually type straight into the calculator the 1 minus 0.0125. So that's your choice. I like to see it personally, but that's your choice. Second vars, number 3. So I'm going to type 0.9875. We've got the 0 and 1, and paste, enter. Ah, interesting. We got a positive 2.24. Now that does match with the picture. 0 is in the center, our z-score was to the right, and we have a positive 2.24. This is a great time to notice the symmetry of the bell curve. That was one of the first things we learned about a normal curve. And so if you have the same area on the left-hand side as on the right-hand side, then the z-scores will also be the same. Left is negative, right is positive. And this only works when it's standard normal, but it's a great skill to know.